Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. My name is Gena, and I'm the creative here on YouTube behind Create and Daydream. And today we're going to do a faith art journal process in my art journal. Obviously. I love this thing. I have been creating it for quite some time this year, and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. What you're seeing on the screen is we're going to make this like a Word Nerd wrap up. So what I did was I shrunk down the first cards in Word Nerd. There was 5 weeks of cards, so I just took the first cards, which had the Bible verses on them, shrunk them down, put them on some clear Mako sticker paper. I also took the typewriter off of the digital ephemera and I blew that up, and then I also took some words. I left those as is, and that's what we're going to be using here on the screen. I am just sharing my Tim Holtz scissors. I'm not sure if I've actually shared these. I use these specifically when I am cutting the clear Mako sticker paper that has a serrated blade on the scissors, and the smaller scissors just help me get into the little nooks and crannies of areas, and the bigger scissors are just for bigger things, but they're fantastic because it has a serrated edge. I'm not sure if anybody else carries those. I would imagine, but I use them. I'll link them below. So let's jump into starting to set up this page. As you can see, I'm almost done with this art journal, which the beginning of the year, if you would have told me, hey, you're going to start art journaling this year, like faith art journaling, you're going to go big or go home, I would have said no. Here we are. We're about ready to wrap it up. Today we're just going to do one full layout, so 2 pages, and let's jump in. Okay, can you all tell I'm excited today because I'm talking really fast and like mumbling my words a little bit? I'm excited because I'm getting the new Illustrated Faith release today, I think. I'm just excited. So if you don't know, if you don't follow Instagram, I am one of the new creative team members for Illustrated Faith, which is like, I can't believe it. Shauna Noel has been sending me the kits for a while now, and it became official, I believe at the beginning of September, and I'm just over the moon happy. I really believe that God has put on my heart to just help people find and follow Jesus through creativity and through study, and just to be authentic and vulnerable and let y'all know that nope, I'm not a theology student. I just became a Christian, like a true Bible believing, following the faith, I love Jesus Christian in like the last 5 years. So I am still learning, and I really feel like no matter where you are in your walk, you can share, and it has been such a blessing here on YouTube. I just love this. I love when you guys comment. I appreciate everything. So just know I'm just a happy person. Okay, so as I was talking, I laid down the first 3 cards with the first 3 verses from Word Nerd. Here I'm laying down this big typewriter. I blew this up, and I'm taking just something that printed. I was running out of ink, so I don't like to waste stuff. So the back side of that was some Kelly Bangs paper. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna make a little slit in the top of the typewriter where the paper would essentially come in and out. So I have a crafting mat, a thick crafting mat. If you have one, I would use one, or put some cardboard underneath, because if you use an X-Acto knife or a blade like mine, it's going to be sharp. So the plan was to have the cards come out the top so I could pull them, and I still stuck with that. But what you don't see in this video is I'm pretty sure this took me 2 or 3 hours, and I kept getting up and coming back. So you're going to see a little bit of light change and stuff like that. And I feel like that is okay. I just can't share it with y'all because no one wants to sit through 2 to 3 hours of me messing around with my pages. So this is called, and I learned this from my followers, my subscribers, it's called like auditioning the pieces. So I had an idea of what I wanted to do with this. I wanted to have the verses. I'm not specifically focusing on them. They are in this video more like an aesthetic, which is okay, because again, this is like my Word Nerd wrap up. I just recently posted a video on how I have been working through Word Nerd, and I like to try to come in and be creative with it at the end, especially now that I'm faith art journaling. And I love this square art journal. I went to buy one that I believe was in the Illustrated Faith shop, a little tiny one, and they didn't have it, and so I went on Amazon and I found the square one, and I'm just absolutely love it. I haven't seen anybody else working in a square one, and again, I love it. I will link it. It's going to be below. And just one more little talking point on that. I will never share anything that I personally do not use or that I don't like or love. You'll never get that from me, ever, ever, ever. Even if I have 1 million trillion followers, which I know is not going to happen, I will always be authentic and tell you what I use and what I don't use. It's not about making money for me. It's about sharing what is good and opening up this door for everyone to start journaling, whether it's faith art, whether it's Bible journaling, whether it's scripture journaling. It's however we can get into the word. And again, that plays into my testimony. At some point I will record a video on that. Okay, so what we're seeing on the page here is I am finding the duplicate. So I printed out the extra ephemera on clear Mako sticker paper, and then I have the ephemera from the physical kit on top of that. So my plan was, I was thinking I'll use the flowers and I'll lay them down with the sticker paper, then I'll come put the physical on top of that. I don't think I did that too much here. I believe I did it with some butterflies, but I like that effect. It almost gives it like a lifted effect, a little bit of a 3D effect. So it's just something you can do if you have the physical and the digital. But even if you don't have the physical, one of the reasons I'm so drawn to Print and Pray and the Print and Pray shop with Illustrated Faith is that I can print things out multiple times or however many times I want. So lots of times I'll print out 2 or 3 of something and I'll lift it that way. So that's just another little idea. So what I'm doing now is I'm starting to kind of wrap around the verses. So again, these are the verses from the Word Nerd kit, the main cards. We studied the word guard, we studied living and active, we studied dwell, we studied image, and then we studied Yahweh, YHWH. And I haven't studied the last 3 weeks, so I'm going to study, I should say. And I think that's just the initials, YHWH. I know it's YAHWEH, and it means Lord. I'm going to dig into that study when I get there. So again, I'm just laying everything out now. In the ephemera digital set, they gave us the words. So I'm just kind of laying those next to the card that they go to. I love layering. That's something that you can always do. You can layer and build up your pieces. I've been doing that for a while now, and excuse me, I had a frog in my throat. Sorry. Anyways, I was saying I love to layer. I like to start with the clear Mako sticker paper because it blends on nicely, as you can see, and then you can layer anything on top of that. So if you have a light print on the Mako sticker paper or the sticker paper that you're using, you can put something on top of that and it still shows up, which is so cool, and you're gonna see me doing that a lot here. Okay, so I'm gonna sidetrack here for a second and ask you all if you've been here before and you picked up Whatever's True and Lovely, the devotional by Carrie Cristancho. Let me know. We talked about that briefly, and I had some comments back saying that is something that you would like to go live with me here on YouTube. Let me know below, because I think I'm going to do that. I think it'll be cool to work through one of the verses together, and then also maybe like bring someone else on live if someone wants to do that with me, and we can kind of mix that up. So let me know about that. Also, on another note, I am going to do a junk journal. If you watched my last video, I just could not make a junk journal with the Word Nerd cards. They ended up being a pretty thick stack, and I've never made a junk journal, so I don't want to start that hard. We're going to start a little bit easier. So, junk journal coming. I may do that live as well and do it in sections or different, videos. So, hang in, let me know below. That'd be great. So now I decided I wanted to bring in some paint on this paper. Again, it's an art journal, so I don't know if you have to use gesso. I like to use gesso because it kind of whitens up the page. These art journals have like an off-white page, and when I'm gonna do paint, I want the paint to actually come through as its true color. So I'll throw some gesso on. One thing to be careful of with gesso and acrylic paint, if you print with an inkjet printer, your printer is putting the ink at the top of your page, so when you get it wet or you put too much paint on it, it will smear. If you have a laser printer, then you can do anything because the laser printer puts the ink directly into the paper. So that's just something I learned over time as I was working with printables. I would love to have a laser printer, but girl, I cannot afford it. So just be aware that if you want to paint over your printables, I believe someone has told me that you can hairspray your digitals if they are inkjet. Let me know if that's a thing, because I don't know. So I'm just very careful with it. So as you saw here, what I brought in was the Color Crush, the colors for the Word Nerd kit from Shauna Noel off the postcard from the kit. And I decided to bring in like this lavender color, something totally different than I think really anything in the kit, and I love that it kind of offsets the muted tones. So you're going to see me putting some paint on the page here. As as you can see, I'm a total professional. I just swipe it on everywhere I want to. So don't feel like you have to be perfect with everything, because you don't. Look at me. I'm just winging it and putting some, paint on the page. What I do know, and I don't really follow all of the rules of art and design, but I do like to follow the rules of three, or the rule of three, where you put in like 3 different shapes, or if you're going to paint, you put it on 3 different areas and try to make a triangle. I don't necessarily try to make a triangle either, but I do like having like an odd number on my pages. So hence the reason there's 3 Bible verses on the left. You'll kind of see that with my stuff. I thought the purple was a little too dark, so I'm coming in now with some white paint to go over it to kind of like mute it down a little bit. And it's really pretty on the page. I don't know if it shows up all that well. I am in Southern California, and our weather here last month has been bonkers. So my light comes in at different times in different colors. So like sometimes my stuff will show up a little bit brighter. Sometimes it'll show up a little bit darker. I apologize for that. I think I'm gonna have to actually get a full lighting setup. So hang in there with me on that. Now I am kind of fussy cutting and cutting up the ephemera that I have on printed clear Mako sticker paper. That didn't make sense that I printed on clear Mako sticker paper, and I'm just using this as a background for the florals that I'm gonna bring in. I initially thought, okay, I'm just gonna use all the florals from the kit because I have them digitally and I can print them out 100 different times, but you're gonna see that I ended up going a different route, and I'm so glad I did. Okay, so while I'm laying down some of the pieces and auditioning some pieces, I just wanted to kind of jump on the topic of what is Bible journaling? Like, is this considered Bible journaling? If you're doing it in a faith art journal, there's no Bible verses. And I say, yes, 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 you can Bible journal any way you want and anything you want. I know there's been some controversy over that. And the reality is it doesn't matter what you're writing in or what you're creating in. What matters is what you're doing. Like, if this is about just making something pretty, that's perfectly fine. If it's, your time with God, like while I was doing this, I was listening to worship music and kind of rocking out and singing. And that's one of my favorite things to do. I love worship music. I have different playlists on Spotify, and I applaud all the people that can sing and play instruments. They're just fantastic. So what you saw me do here is that's what I brought in, is these sunflowers from Brianna Showalter's set from this month. They are that big. I did not have to blow them up. I just printed them out a couple times, and I'm going to use them. And I thought it looked really good. As I was looking at the typewriter, the flowers that I was trying to use in it was too small, so I wanted to kind of make something look like the same, or make it all, just go together. And I needed bigger florals, so I'm kind of gonna offset the typewriter there with some florals, and I got happy there because I finally realized, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. So you saw me bring in some yellow. I really like yellow and purple. It goes together, even if you don't think it does, because think about pansies. Pansies are yellow and purple, and they're beautiful. So what I'm doing here is I like to save as much. It probably seems like I just print and waste and this and that, but I don't. I try to save as much of a flower or something as possible. Like, I'm not going to lift up this typewriter. It's not going to be a tip-in or anything like that. I did think about that, but I decided not to. So I cut out the part of the sunflower that I'm not going to use it elsewhere. And I'm only using the little edge there. And then I did keep the bigger one up at the top. Just primarily because I still was kind of thinking at this point I may do this as a tip-in, but I might just do it up there at the top. So however you want to do it, if you want to use the whole thing or you want to cut it down, go for it. If you cut it down and like you're someone that, you know, doesn't want to print a lot, that's a great way to do it. So on top of that, well, not on top of that, but along with that, I use the HP printer ink plan. There's no like affiliate with it or anything like that, but I bought an HP printer and I get ink sent to me, which is like God's gift to us that create and are normally printing things elsewhere. So I have a link in my Instagram link tree, and all that does, and I don't even need it, but it just kind of, it's a link to the ink program, and if you sign up using my link, then I get ink and you get ink, but the reality is we don't need it because HP sends it to us. So if you're someone like, I used to be someone who would spend $40, $50 a month at Office Max printing my stuff. Oh my goodness, I bought a printer for under $100. I pay like $12 a month. I can print 300 pages. They can be black and white, they can be color, and it tells HP, hey, my printer's running out of ink and I have ink all the time. I am loving it. We just got my daughter one, or actually my daughter's a teacher and she put it on Amazon wish list and someone bought her the printer, which, oh my gosh, people are so amazing and so giving. So she's also using that as well. So, okay, off the ink thing. Now I'm coming in and I'm putting down the words. I don't have a specific place I want them to go. I just kind of want them to be touching the card, you know, the sticker card that is on the page of what it goes to. So like guard is week 1, living, it was living and active, but I just took living. Living is week 2, dwells week 3, and then image and Lord are week 4 and 5. And as you can see, I stuck those into the typewriter up there so I can pull those out. So that's my little place for a prayer, you know, and also to have the other cards. And here you see, this is how I'm using the extra little sunflower. So you never know, like, I don't believe in saving all the pieces like of cutouts, but if it's like a big chunky piece, and you know, I like to save it. So here we're adding in some butterflies. Again, these are digital. I don't think I did anything to these. I just brought these in at the very beginning of the video. See, like I have my typewriter, I think, and at the bottom I have put like 3 or 4 of these butterflies. I love butterflies. I think they've been in all of my journaling things lately. They're just beautiful, and they're even beautiful when they're like this black and off-white. So this is how I am kind of doing that like 3D effect. I have some butterflies I put down with sticker paper, and I'm gonna put some on top of it. Initially I wasn't gonna do this, and I just kind of kept coming back to this, and I thought that would look really cool. I decided to take the Words Matter, so this just came with the ephemera. It's also in the digital set, and it kind of just wraps up the whole Word Nerd theme. Like, every word in the Bible matters, obviously some more than others, and I just thought it was awesome. I have this little piece of fabric that I believe came in a kit with Illustrated Faith, because I didn't buy that fabric, and all I did was I just folded it over and sewed it. And I know people will tape it down as well, so you can do it any way you want, and I just wanted to put that as like a little thing to pop up the Words Matter. Here with the cards, because they were on clear Mako sticker paper, you're going to see me come in and put them on cardstock. I didn't want them to be that thin. I added in a couple of the library cards from the kit, so I can go in again, add some prayers, add some notes, and now I'm just stapling this Words Matter to the fabric, and that's a Tim Holtz stapler. I'll link that down below too. It's like a tiny attacher, and I love that thing. Okay, so when I like to pop up the butterflies, or when I pop up the butterflies, sometimes I'll put a stitch down the middle. I didn't think about doing that with this project, but I'll just put a little bit of tape runner in there, and I use like the Tombow tape runner. And now you saw me bring in like the actual physical ephemera for this green. I liked the green. I believe that green can go with any page, especially if it has florals on it, if they're black and white or not, because if you think about it, green's everywhere. Like I look out my window and there's green grass, there's green bushes, there's green leaves on florals. So it's one of those colors that I believe is made to go with anything, or I should say I believe God made that to go with anything. And now I'm just kind of coming in and putting some extra elements. So you're going to see me lift up some things, add some small pieces. I encourage you to cut apart your ephemera, cut apart digital sets, and use them however you want them. It's once they're in your hands, they're yours, and they're open to interpretation by you. Okay, so if you're still hanging in here with this video, let me know if you're doing Word Nerd. Let me know if you finished it, or if you're working week by week, or any of that. I would love to know. I'm very interested. I always like to know what people are studying and what they get out of stuff. I like having a new introduction from Carrie Cristancho and how she breaks down the Bible and how she came to like her name on Instagram and her business True and Lovely from the Bible verse, a Bible verse from Philippians. I think it's kind of cool. You saw me just kind of sticking the papers back and forth. That took me a long time to figure out exactly what I was going to do there. Here I'm bringing in the butterflies. I'm going to bend them up, and what happens with this is, like in a book, obviously they flatten back down, but they don't come up. The Tombow the Tombow tape runner holds pretty good. So I end up coming in here and I date stamp this, and then I kind of step back from it for a little bit, and I decided I need something else, which you're gonna see. So technically, I don't know if it's technically, but this is a mixed media page. Anytime you mix two types of media of any sort, it's mixed media. Like I have friends that are true unbelievable mixed media artists that put inks and dyes and gels and all different types of stuff on their pages. I don't have all that stuff, but I do have paint and I do have paper, and that's two different things. So that's mixed media in my book. Here I'm just taking, again, my professional back end of a paintbrush. I think that's like a stencil filler, and I took like this, it's called avocado paint. And I brought this in to put in polka dots. I'm a big fan of polka dots. I'll put them anywhere and everything. And I just thought that kind of like wrapped up the page perfectly. I did end up using gesso in spots I didn't need it, but hey, you know what? That's okay. So that's it, my friends. This is my Bible art journaling, my faith art journaling page for the Word Nerd series. I don't know if I'll be doing any more Word Nerd videos. I'll link how I put it together and how I was studying below. Again, let me know if you want me to go live here on YouTube. I would love to have like someone new each week or every couple weeks. That would be awesome. And also, part of what I'm doing for Illustrated Faith is I get to bring some Facebook fun to the Facebook Bible journaling group. So if you're not a member over there, go sign up, answer all the questions, because I got some fun stuff coming and you can win some stuff, which I know everybody loves that. So love and light to you all. Have a blessed day. See you soon.